Hello friends and welcome back to the C.Gars channel. Today I'm joined by a special guest, Alfonso from TOR. Alfonso, thank you so much for joining me. It's an absolute pleasure to have you on the channel finally. How are you doing?
All good, all good. Actually, thank you for inviting me, and it's a big pleasure as well for me to be here with you today.
It's been very nice having you. I mean, we had a great event last night, didn't we?
We actually did a beautiful event.
Hoya de Nicaragua Cinco de Cinco.
Correct.
What do you think of that?
So, to be honest, for me, that cigar it's really important because as well the history that has behind, and as well actually the from where it comes from. It's really important for me because it's a cigar that has been made out of people going to visit the Hoya de Nicaragua factory, and actually from there playing on different blends and allowing those people to actually work on their own favorite blends. That one is the one that stood out and was like rated 5 on 5, and that's why they call it Cinco de Cinco. And the message as well behind the cigar, it's really fantastic, which is made by amigos, blended by maestro, made for the one who knows. So it's the whole history behind it. Actually, it's really interesting.
It's a beautiful story, isn't it? There's a lot of history behind that brand.
Correct.
That's amazing. How did you get into the industry? Because you're quite young, aren't you? I mean, I think you're a year younger than me, right?
Correct.
So I'm 26, you're 25.
Correct, sir. Correct. So basically, it's like that. It's all about memories. Literally, cigars are made by memories, or cigars create memories in a way. So let's say when I was younger, I do have this memory of my father, time to time enjoying a cigar with his friends over my house, our house, back in Italy. And I was a kid that probably would have been around 14, 15. I just get closer to them because I was interested about the actual aroma that the cigar was giving. And actually there I sold my first cigar, and I maybe had a couple of puffies, choking really, really badly. And then I moved to London and started to work in one of the most prestigious members club in London. And actually there I discovered, I find the first humidor in my life, the first smoking lounge, and I just loved the whole beauty of it, the whole class, the whole heritage, the history behind. And I started smoking my first cigar, and then I moved to the second one. Till then I started to pick up a bit of passion, and that small passion became now my full-time job and my full-time passion in a way.
That's wonderful. So you kind of knew what you wanted to do in a way, or did you kind of? So obviously you have that history of the memories of being younger and smelling the smoke from family members and friends and whatnot, but then you kind of forgot about that, and then
Completely yes.
Yeah.
Completely yes. So my career was started in the hospitality industry. So I've been bartender, I've been doing a lot of competition in the bartending world. I've been as well a head bartender, so managing different places. Then literally after 2 years, I will say 3 years that I've discovered cigar, I was like, now it's time to move on, and I do know that this is gonna be my future. So it's literally then where I started to work more and more in the industry. I've started to work within retails, within lounges, within brands, and then now finally I'm with TOR, which is one of the, I would say the best company in the world in terms of importing and distributing cigars, as well as the people behind it.
I think that's wonderful. It's nice to know that you've really enjoyed working where you work, and I feel the same way about working for C.Gars, because I hadn't actually ever smoked a cigar prior to working here. Didn't know what it would be like, and I remember I accepted the job, and it was an apprenticeship at the time, so I knew nothing, and it was just from the start. And back then Anthony was my manager, and he sat me down the lounge when we had it, and he sat me with an acid Cuba, and that kind of started my journey, really. It's a very good cigar to introduce people with. Obviously, I know that your preference isn't sweeter cigars, which is completely fair enough. But for someone who hasn't ever smoked a cigar prior to that, it was amazing. It was like my eyes had been opened to something completely unbelievable.
Yep.
And I remember I took so long with it that I was only... So it was a relatively big cigar. I think it's like a large Robusto.
Okay.
And it took me about an hour and a half to get halfway through the cigar. And I remember Anthony came through to me and said, right, that's enough. He took it off me. And I was like, oh, brilliant, right, back to work it is. But honestly, that's what got me started. And I feel incredibly lucky to work here now and have it as a hobby, just like yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And you meet so many amazing people within it, don't you? Whether it's a customer or someone like yourself from a supply company, it's wonderful. The relationships that you build and the hobby that you get out of it.
Oh, 100% agree with you.
Mm.
I think that the best part in the cigar industry is literally the people you meet.
Yeah.
The people that are around this industry are just fantastic.
Yeah, there's so many different types of people as well.
Correct.
Because you get older generation people, you get younger generation, you get people who are into property, people who are in just retail jobs and whatnot, but they all come together and they kind of harmonize over a beautiful cigar. And I think that is honestly incredible to me.
No, that's right. That's totally right. For me, it's the same. Literally, cigars doesn't have boundaries.
Mm.
Cigars are made to enjoy.
Exactly.
So are literally for every kind of people, and it's actually beautiful. Actually, see as well, young generation approaching this world.
Mm-hmm.
Before it would have been maybe a status symbol. So maybe just high-profile people would have smoked cigar.
Yeah.
But literally, again, cigars are made to be enjoyed by everyone.
Yeah.
So it's literally an open world over there. Just go there and discover and get yourself into what you like and what you want to do.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It really is. Would you say you have a favorite cigar?
That's a tricky question for me, because I do have few favorite cigars, to be honest with you. But for me, there are not perfect cigars. In a way that the cigar, as we were saying before, it's always a memory and experience. So I do find out that either if the cigars has the same blends over and over again, what happens is that the mood, the time, the environment where you are does literally change the perception of capturing flavors. It can be the same for cigar, but it can be the same with spirits, wine, or whatever it can be that you try. Literally, all what's around you does impact and affect what you're doing.
Yeah.
Even, for example, yesterday night I was sharing the history about me trying the wine over Tuscany. That was a really fantastic wine. I brought the bottle, I brought it back at home. I've opened it with my family, and it was a completely different environment. The wine was completely tasting different, and I was kind of disappointed. But at the end of the day, it was not a fault of the wine. It was literally the situation where I was in. It was completely different, and that's create a literally different perception in my mind. So going back on the question, do you have favorite cigars? I will say I do have favorite cigars, but I will say that I do prefer different vitolas, certain vitolas, more than anyone else, more than anything else. Sorry. For example, for me, I'm a big fan of Lanceros. Lanceros for me, it's one of my favorite vitolas, and
It's a beautiful Vitola.
it's super elegant for me. It's super nice as well. The way how the cigar smokes itself. It's a really slow burning cigar. It's a really easy going cigar. A lot of resistance as well because of the shape of the vitola. But for me, it's just fantastic. Plus, I do love actually big vitolas, like double Corona size or Churchill size are actually my go-to. I will say this is my favorite. Those are my favorite cigars.
That's lovely. I think I personally prefer the smaller Vitolas. So I love a Corona. I think that's probably my favourite Vitola, but the Lancero really is up there. I think for me, I enjoy an enjoyment time of probably around 30 minutes. I think after that, I start to not necessarily lose interest in the cigar, but I feel comfortable with what I've had.
Makes sense.
But then again, saying that, I have had bigger Vitola cigars that I have really, really enjoyed. So I guess it does just depend on the setting, what you're smoking,
The mood.
Yeah.
the people actually you with.
Oh, 100%.
Because, for example, happens to me that sometimes people they don't smoke, for example, and I'm the only cigar smoker, and sometimes you feel like just not in the right place to light on a cigar. So like that there as well, you get this kind of perception that you might not enjoying it,
Yeah.
because you don't have the right company to do it. But it's, I mean, it's literally a personal opinion, personal thing. Everyone choose. For example, personally, I do choose a cigar depending on the time, company, and so on.
Yeah.
So that's actually what helps me to find out what cigar I want to smoke over the day.
I actually agree. I think I rarely ever smoke a cigar on my own. It's always with someone else. So most predominantly here, but also I've got a couple of friends who love smoking cigars now because I got them into it, as you did. And in fact, one of my friends has now invested in 2 humidors. He's got multiple lighters, cutters, ashtrays, and he's filling up his humidor non-stop.
It's an extension, literally.
Yeah.
It's a drug. Once you start, you never want to finish. It's literally an addiction.
Essentially, yeah. I mean, I personally don't feel like I'm addicted to cigars, but I can see what you're saying. Like it because it's such a hobby, the enjoyment is there, and that's what it's like for me anyway.
No, totally. It's literally not an addiction in terms of I need it, I
Yeah.
need it. But it's like literally, I have one, I want more.
Yeah.
I have one cutter, I want more because
Exactly.
I need to match my style, in a certain way.
Yeah.
I need to actually match my mood of the day.
Yeah.
And like that, you can always exchange accessories and literally keeping on with matching your style.
Exactly, yeah. So talking of accessories, we have a lot here today. Now, there are a lot of accessories in the cigar industry, but what makes certain cigar accessories so popular? And what would you say are the most popular?
Okay. So, let's say so. As I was saying before, cigar accessories is an extension. And with that I mean literally finding what's the best tool for you. So what makes a product, I will say, successful is actually the style, the design of it, as well as the brand has a lot. Because certain brand which has a lot of history, a lot of background behind, actually they do have a bit more popularity because of it.
Of course.
But I will say that literally there are no boundaries there as well, because nowadays we actually have product that can be matched for everyone, every type of smoker, and as well I think that you choose your accessories depending on what you want to smoke, how do you want to smoke it, and as well if you want to have an extra extension, like for example a small bit that can be a cigar rest, and you just then find whatever is fancy for you.
I think there are so many and it can be overwhelming for people. What would you say is the best idea to start with? What accessories?
So I will say the best accessories to start with, and I think it's the same that happened with everyone, is literally to have a straight cut and a torch lighter. I think that those one are the first accessories that you actually want to start when you start cigars. For the simple fact because you need a cutter to cut a cigar in a certain way, and you need something to light on a cigar. And sometimes you go in places where they're actually not cigar lounges or cigar outdoor spaces where they actually can borrow you accessories. So you fancy to have your one, and you actually get the one that is more beautiful for you, is more fancy for you. For example, literally my first cigar cutter was just a normal guillotine. And I remember as well my first lighter, which I brought it on Amazon, to be honest with you, and has been since ever my first and my best lighters so far.
That's
literally
good. Do you think that some accessories, so for example, you've got a punch cut, you've got a straight cut, a V cut, do you think these different types have different benefits, or do you think it's purely just preference?
I can say both. Both. It's mainly a preference. For example, if you go, we talk about the straight cut, which is the most classic cut, that then has been shaped in different version, in different look. It's actually for me the most iconic and the best one, because it literally cuts the edge of all the cap of the so the whole head of the cigar, and you actually gets a lot of flavor. All the flavor and the draw as well is what I want, for example. But going back to the punch cut, which is literally this little boy here, what we got here is literally a small rounded cut which just creates a small hole on the head of the cigar where the smoke comes from. So in this case now it's a really personal thing, and I will leave it that to you in terms of it can change the flavor or not. It's completely up to you. But what I do think is that just having a small hole on the cigar, it might gonna get the jaw a little bit more intense, because you might need a bit more power actually to draw the cigar. In the meantime, I do think as well that while the smoke goes through the cigar and it comes just by that small hole, tiny hole, I think that the smokes get blended together, and it might be a bit more intense.
Okay.
Or, for example, that was a thought by one of the guests that we had yesterday over the event. For example, it was like for me, if I have a looser cigar, for example, there are some cigars which they might, let's say, feel a bit loose in terms of jaw. You might want to have a punch cut, because like that you can create the resistance you want.
Exactly. And then if that's not enough, then you can go with something like a straight cut.
Straight cut, or as well, the V cut. And here we actually have another good example of another way how to cut a cigar, that then it became super fancy. And I'll tell you why as well. So this one is literally the same, but what does it change from a V cut to a punch cut is that you're going to draw a V on the edge of the head. And from there you actually have a different feel in your mouth. Even the tongue feel the edge of the cigar different. So again, there is a personal opinion. And then this is a cigar that became really popular because it became really fancy in a way, and people started to use started as a normal V cut, and then started to be a double V cut, so creating a cross on the cigar, and then people then wanted to get crazier, so let's do a crown cut. So you literally have multiple V cut, and again, it's literally personal. It's literally a personal opinion. And again, you actually do whatever it's more fancier for you, whatever you prefer most. There are no boundaries, and nothing is correct and nothing is right in the same time. Literally every person does and has to do whatever they like.
That's exactly what I tell customers. I always recommend a straight cut to people, just because it is the classic, the go-to. But again, it's completely preference, depending on what you want. Would you say, what would you say to people who are looking to purchase a cigar accessory? Say they're looking to purchase a cutter or a lighter. What would be your advice?
So first of all, I will approach the customer, and I would like to understand what he likes, how it is, what are his trends, for example, how do you usually dress, for example. Like that, it's because, as you mentioned before, you just have so many accessories. You have to find the right one to propose to him. So literally analyzing the customer, I think, is the best key to find out what I can suggest. In terms of cutters, literally, as we saw it, actually gonna show you some. We have different types. Started from the most classic guillotine cutter, which I don't longer use anymore. Moving to my favorite, a nice knife cutter, and this is made by Le Finelame, which is a French brand that now has been acquired by Van der Meyer family, and I'm sure that now things gonna go super greatly for this brand, and this is actually my favorite cutter. For example, for me, I do love this cut for the simple fact that you can engrave your cut, you can actually create a scenery behind it, you can create an extra experience for people who looks at it. So this is actually another beautiful example of what it can be, a cigar knife.
I know that brand is very unique. They have so many different designs. And
Correct.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like they advertise the knives as multi-purpose. Would that be right?
Well, let's say that for them the main purpose is to have a cigar knife. So let's say the old brand has been created to create accessories for cigars, which are not the usual one. Let's say, let's say that they try to go a little bit out of the box, creating something a bit more particular. For example, just to give you a little explanation, you said something nice, something right before. So what they have done is literally they create different finishes for for those cigars, in wood, in brass, in I would say in carbon fiber, and so on. And each one has a different design, different style, different color in a way. And that's for me is a good example of match your style.
Yeah.
For example, you can get a nice cherry wood finish, a nice paddock finish, or for example, if you fancy for a certain country of production, for example, I would say Cuba, Nicaragua, Dominican Republic, they actually did some edition where on the blade you actually have displayed the Nicaraguan landscape, or whatever, the Cuban landscape, or just having the flag on top of the finishes of the cutter. And from there, what they did, they actually extended. So let's keep matching your style in a way.
Right.
Within those cigar cutter pouches or leather case. That as well, in this case, they did it in really different colors, in a lot of different colors that you can match your knife and automatically matching what you are in a way. So this is actually a beautiful example of a great product. This is literally one of the product are suscitating a lot of interest, because it's a really unique product, and the material is super high quality, and as well the how can I say, the idea behind the brand to create something really unique is as well that they allowed you to go on their website and can purchase, for example, an extra blade, or actually to purchase an extra blade that you can engrave or you can personalize for yourself. So you can actually ask them to draw a logo on it, or to draw a signature, or just your initial. So it's literally making your own product, making your own style.
It's really cool, isn't it? It's so cool.
It's really cool. Yes, it's really. And another beautiful thing about this product I would like to mention, because it's a super luxury product in a way, it always comes with a life warranty. So you will never go away with a really damaged one, or with a faulty one.
I've never ever heard of anyone having a faulty one anyway.
Never, but in case, they always back you up. So it's a brand amazing, which always supports who supports them in a way.
That's how you know that they really care about their product, and they really put the time and the effort into making such a wonderful product.
Correct.
It's incredible.
Correct.
And so what about the other accessories that we've got here?
So, just sticking 1 second on this brand, which is left in LA, what else I would like to show you as well. Literally thinking out of the box. So we saw before the punch cut, and this is one of the most iconic and classic shape to have a punch cut. But literally thinking out of the box, what we can do different. They came out with this beautiful bracelet, which is a fantastic punch cut as well. So literally it's easy to carry. You're never gonna miss it, or you're never gonna lose it, because it's gonna be always on your wrist. Yeah. And it's actually a fantastic as well. Here the quality is amazing. They have different finishes as well, with different kind of stones. Yeah. And as well, that makes it a bit more unique. Yeah. Then another product that this brand does, which I'm really proud of, or really happy about, and still going on the matching your style. They created this fantastic cigar rest, which is in a beautiful stainless steel, that comes with those pouches. And those pouches are, again, they are in different colors. Yeah. So in the meantime, you can either match the color of your leather case of your knife, but in the meantime, as well, as we always mentioning over and over again, finding what is best for you, what your favorite color can be. So actually make it even more personal for you.
They've really thought about this, haven't they?
Yeah, I can tell you. And actually it's going really popular because of it. Literally, I have a black case, a black cigar case, and then I get a black cigar leather cover for this fantastic cigar rest, a black leather cover for my knife. Why not a black knife as well?
Exactly.
So I do kind of match all the theme of what I'm gonna look today or what I'm gonna have today.
Yeah.
And actually fantastic. It creates that extra experience for as well the people that are around you.
Yeah.
So that's actually beautiful.
It's brilliant. It really is.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Would you recommend specific accessories to beginners, or is it again preference?
It's preferences. I do personally started and straight away went to buy my first cutter and my first knife, my first lighter. Sorry. Again, I think for every passion or every hobby you have, you're always gonna find or going to have literally all the tools you need.
Yeah.
And then you're always gonna exchange it and get something new or something more appealing or something more interesting for you. And then where you actually start to build a crazy collection of accessories like you do for cigars in a certain way, which does match as well. For example, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes it's nice, and I've did it in the past. Okay, I have a black label cigar, which in this case, for example, I'm smoking a Tatuaje, which has a black and gold label.
Mm-hmm.
Am I gonna go to choose one of the accessories that has gold and black
Right, I
in
see.
it? So like that, I do kind of create that small scenery for myself as well.
Aesthetic,
which makes,
yeah.
the aesthetic scenery, which actually is nice.
That's wonderful.
Again, there is not right and wrong answers on it. It's literally how deep are you into it, I guess.
Yes.
That's, I think, that is the right answer to this question.
Yeah.
And again, moving on the other accessories that I would like to show as well, which is another my favorite brand,
Yeah.
is actually the Barber Moses. Barber Moses, basically, it's a brand that born by a guy that he was an amazing barber in Italy. That he get closer to the Fox Knives company, which is one of the best company that produce knives in Italy, every kind of purpose, for every kind of purpose, and they designed this line of accessories, which is super luxury and fantastic for me, which he calls a little bit what the actual tool of a barber can be. In this case, what we're gonna actually show, I wanna get as well the leather case, which he comes out with. So this is actually one of the most iconic pieces that they have. Mm-hmm. So it comes with this fantastic leather case, and the actual purpose of this cutter is to have the same handles of a scissor, barber scissor.
Yeah.
In the meantime, having the blade that looks like a proper razor. And as well, the way how you cut the cigar with this tool, it's super unbelievable. It's super scenery.
Yeah.
And it makes actually a good impact on people. The sharpness, and as well you can see the quality on the product is amazing.
Yeah.
And then going still back on the thoughts of creating this product and looking at the leather pouch that comes with. First of all, it looks like a proper pouch where scissors or razor comes in with. But in the meantime, for my point of view as well, what I do reckon as well, that it looks like a leather stripe where barber use it to sharpen up their razors.
I see. Yeah, it's very clever.
Yeah, well, that's super cool for me. Yeah,
Yeah.
super cool. They do this one in two colors, in two finishes, so in black matte and as well in silver. But another product that I really love from them is literally this small cigar cutter, which is a small scissor.
Yeah.
And as well here, nothing has been left to the case. We have a fantastic, beautiful, super high material leather pouch. And as well the actual small scissor, if you look it from the other side of the actual product, you actually see that there is another razor is in it. So they literally create everything, always keeping the same style as his passion was it, and as his hobby and his work was it. So literally that made something really unique and personal for him, but as well for people which, for example, like us, maybe we have a long beard or we like our hair, blah blah, whatever. Yeah. We might do get on with it because it match maybe our style as well. So this is as well something really unique, and I've never seen no one else doing something similar.
I don't think I have either. It's really interesting, and it's ideal as well because you've got that little case. You can just take it wherever because it's not very big, is it?
Correct.
You just pop it in your pocket.
Correct.
And forget about it.
Easily.
You know, a lot of cigar accessories I find, the brands are accommodating to those who want convenience.
Correct, 100%.
Because some accessories can be quite bulky and big, which is great if you've got your own place to smoke at home.
Correct.
But when you're out and about, you know, if you're going out to a pub with friends, you don't want to take something that's bulky.
Well,
So a lot of people, brands are now accommodating to those people, which is amazing.
again, I do think that literally there are so much out going on the market in terms of accessories, and I think the purpose behind to have so many different accessories is literally to matching what your needs are as well. For example, as you said, I'm going outside. I might not want to carry, I don't know, a cutter and then a lighter and then a case and then so on and blah, blah, blah. So there are as well other, let's say, other things that you might support in that. For example, now, Lotus, which is one of the best, one of an amazing brand of accessories from my point of view, and this is one of my favorite lighter that they produce, comes with a punch cut on the bottom.
Yeah.
So you literally, if you, for example, you're going tonight somewhere where you know you're not gonna have a lot of cigars to smoke, or you're not gonna be into a crowd with a lot of smokers, you might just carry a small lighter which comes with a punch. You might not gonna enjoy the punch as you wish, but you're just gonna punch it right on the cigar, and you have two accessories in one, which makes everything more easier.
Yeah.
So this is actually another beautiful thing to look at, actually, yes. And again, there are other cutter which comes with a straight cut or a V cut on the back, so literally inside the lighter, and as well that makes everything more easier. Again, it's literally how do you like your cut, how do you like your cigar, how do you like your lighter, and matching whatever your needs are. For example, easily a lighter within a cutter, it's way more convenient to carry easily around.
Yeah.
But again, there are, for example, people, and apologize if I say so, like me, I like to create those sceneries, like to create those experiences as well for people that looks at you. So I do always carry like extra accessories with me. I'm really honest. I mean, I don't have to lie on that. I do always carry around a knife, my lighter, and a Barber Moses cutter, because you never know where you are.
No.
And sometimes wherever if you are in a different place, you might have to use a different cutter to create the right scenery for the right pattern of the place in a certain way, the right mood or whatever. So literally, that's actually interesting as well.
Yeah, it's a great way of putting it, I think. And I think this has been really insightful for people, giving advice on what to look for. Again, most of it is just preference.
Thank you for having me here today, and actually it's been a really pleasure. We spent a couple of days with a lot of experience going on, a lot of things that we did together, and beautiful event with beautiful people over. The team of C.Gars, it's really fantastic. I really enjoyed the company and as well the experience that I've had all over the place. So
it's been great.
Thank you very much.
You're more than welcome. If you guys want to check out the accessories, you can do so on our website at C.Gars. Alfonso, it's been such a pleasure to have you here with us today. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. Stay safe and happy herfing.